rare and balanced view on politics in today's world. Based on facts, born of rationality, common sense, and logic, providing context on today's events, this is American Perspective with Rick Thomas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Perspective. I am your host, Rick. Well, let's just go ahead and get things started off. You just gotta, sometimes you just gotta work through it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get everything kicked off with Amy. I believe Amy is up tonight for the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you are of mind, please stand. Remove your hat if you're wearing one. And or also put your hand over your heart as we follow along with Amy and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, Amy, for that wonderful rendition of the Pledge of Allegiance. And of course, if you would like your rendition of the Pledge of Allegiance heard on the program, you can do so by recording yourself, and then, of course, taking that audio file and emailing it to me at fans, F-A-N-S, at americanperspective.online. That's fans at americanperspective.online. All right. So tonight, I want to tell you about this fantastic show that comes on right after mine, although it's all audio and it's all music. It's on TGRN, True Grit Roots Network. You can find us at tgrn.net. And tonight's show is Music on the Couch. It is live, unscripted, and uncut conversations with musicians you should know. Show began on February 10th, 2010, with the express goal of giving musicians a voice of their own. Interviews are not colored by a journalist's interpretations. The person who is doing the interviews is our very own Vinnie Marini. And as of September 5th, 2023, there are over 660 shows and over 2,500 interviews. I think he does like 3 a night, 1 per hour. But you can check them all out. Check out all the past interviews, of course, at musiconthecouch.com. Or you can check out tonight's interview right after this show. Okay? So it's 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central Time. Right after this show, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Right after this show is when it airs. And it's only 1 day a week. So if you miss it, you got to go and run off to musiconthecouch.com after he posts it over there. And listen to him over there. So listen to Music on the Couch from our own Vinnie Marini right here on TGRN, True Grit Roots Network with TGRN Blues. That is TGRN out of Austin, Texas. And you can listen on your browser. You can also find links at tgrn.net to download our app. Or if you have the Live 365, iHeart, and Odyssey, AUDACY apps already, you can find us in their catalog of digital radio stations. That's True Grit Roots Network with TGRN Blues, and again, based out of Austin, Texas. All right. So, let's go ahead and kick it off. This is the eve of what is potentially going to be the one, the only, and possibly the last debate of this election season for the presidential candidates. I mean, let's be honest. This is the only one that they've really agreed to. So, you know, that the possibility exists that there won't be a second. And if one or the other, depending upon which one you're cheering for, if either one of them totally tanks, I doubt there's going to be a second one running around. So, Anyway, so the thing about it is, of course, is that the debate is going to be on ABC, and ABC has put out the rules. And here in the Washington Examiner, oh boy, this is going to be questionable. Yep, I knew it. There we go. So ABC put out the rules, and here on the from the Washington Examiner, here's the rules that apparently they have agreed on them. Muted microphones. Now, this is the one that was the piece that gained fame because of the fact that Kamala Harris originally agreed to it, Donald Trump agreed to it, and then Kamala Harris goes, whoa, I want to renegotiate. Even though Trump originally was like, hey, we can renegotiate now. She didn't want to do it. And so because she didn't want to do it, she ended up with getting muted microphones. Now, let's be honest. The whole reason why she wanted the microphones unmuted is because she was hoping to be able to do the I'm speaking here thing that she did to Mike Pence. That's what she was looking for. that moment where, those people who seem to think that stuff like that is a gotcha moment when it actually isn't. But anyway, that was the one thing that she was that they really wanted, and they ended up not getting it. Good on ABC, actually, for sticking to the agreement and saying, look, you already agreed to it. Why would you want to redo stuff right now? Anyway, I'm actually kind of surprised that ABC has decided to stick with it rather than telling the Kamala Harris campaign, oh, yes, girl, we'll give you whatever you want. Because that's kind of, what they do. But anyway. All right. Moving on down, questions and responses. Now, the two moderators, David Muir and Lindsay Davis, are going to ask questions during the debate. Now, the rules state that the candidates are not permitted to ask questions of one another. And so there won't be any opening statements either, but each candidate will get a 2-minute closing statement. Harris will go first, while Trump will get the final word. And it's because he actually won the coin flip for it. And that was, he had a choice to select either placement of the podium or closing statement order, and he chose closing statement order, which is actually a good thing. Each candidate is supposedly to have 2 minutes to answer each question, 2 minutes for rebuttals, and a final 1 extra minute for follow-ups, clarifications, or responses. So for every question, each side gets 2 minutes at first. Then each side gets 2 minutes for rebuttals, and then 1 extra minute after that for any kind of follow-ups, clarifications, or responses. That's kind of interesting. So that means roughly, 10 minutes per question if both sides take their full amount of time. Now, ABC did say that no topic or questions will be given to either of the campaigns ahead of the debate. Let's be honest, really? I mean, why would you even say that if you weren't planning on doing something? Yeah. Anyway, we'll have to see. If Kamala Harris can actually pull this one off without sounding like a complete idiot, then I would say that there's a good chance that ABC actually held to their word for that. Anyway, okay, so the venue is going to be at the National Convention Center in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, there's going to be no audience present. So it's going to be awfully quiet if neither one of them, talks. So Trump will be on the podium on the left side, and Harris is supposed to be on the right. Both candidates are going to enter the debate stage from opposite sides. That's nothing unusual. And will be introduced by both Muir and Davis. Harris will enter first because she is the incumbent. Yeah. Anyway, both candidates are supposed to stand behind their podiums throughout the debate, while Murr and Davis will be seated. Now, obviously, that's kind of a holdover from the Biden originally agreed to, because they were, the Trump campaign was trying to make it so that he needed to, that Biden himself needed to stand. But the interesting thing about this, though, is this will be a stark contrast, okay? A stark contrast between Trump at like over 6 foot, I think he's like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", something like that, and Kamala Harris, who is reportedly, I believe, somewhere between like 5'4" and 5'5". So this was one of the reasons why she wanted to have seats instead of standing, because it will be, let's just put it this way, there will be a complete physical difference, unless of course they put some sort of like shall we say blocks or something underneath her to bring her up, which, we'll have to keep an eye on that. So both candidates are supposed to have a pen, pad of paper, and a water bottle, but neither one of them are allowed to bring pre-written notes or props to the podium. So that's cool. I mean, that's okay. It's, they can write stuff down if there's a specific point that, say, the other side does. Oh, thank you. Of course, my Whiskey Warrior P1's Bonnie, Trump is 6'3". So, okay. Yeah, so that's going to be, he's going to be at least a foot taller than her, I think, or pretty close to being a foot taller than her. But anyway, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that. They can't bring any kind of pre-written notes or props. Not a big deal. So some other rules are that the debate itself will be 90 minutes long with 2 commercial breaks. Okay. This was as seen as in the CNN debate in June. Now, I carried the CNN debate, and I will, I'm going to try. Okay, because this is a different network, I don't know if I'll be able to get a hold of the feed, unless there is another feed from somewhere else. But I do know that if I can't carry it, Dan Bongino's carrying it. For those of you who are Daily Wire subscribers, they're going to have Backstage carrying it and that kind of stuff too. Now the campaign staff during the commercial breaks. Oh, Harris is 5'2". Bonnie says, so that's going to be more than a foot difference between the two of them. But anyway, unless of course they put blocks under her. She might come out with like 3 or 4 inch heels, so let's just say she's 5'4", 5'5" in heels, because that's just the way she is. So anyway, they apparently are going to have the 2 commercial breaks, but the campaign staff is not going to be allowed to interact with the candidates during those breaks. If I am able to carry it and barring nothing else interrupts it, I will do what I can to make sure that we provide commentary in those breaks, so you guys don't have to listen to the commercials. Anyway, so the debate is supposed to air on ABC, along with ABC News Live, Disney Plus, and Hulu. Live simulcasts will also be available on CBS, Fox, NBC, PBS, along with various cable networks, including C-SPAN, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and News Nation. So I might have a chance of catching all of that. It's scheduled to begin at 9 p.m. Eastern, which will be basically immediately after this show tomorrow night. So what I'm going to attempt to do, obviously, is find it during my broadcast tomorrow, or have it hopefully queued up during my broadcast, and we'll just move right into it for it. The vice presidential candidates, also Tim Walz and J.D. Vance, have agreed to debate on CBS News on the 1st of October. So we'll go with that also. I will try and carry that one as well. So those are basically the rules. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens. Now, let's be honest. This is on ABC, just like with CNN on the original debate with Donald Trump and Biden, Joe Biden. This, according to MRC Newsbusters, 100% debate moderator David Muir hosts most pro-Harris left-wing newscast. So they did an analysis. Wow, did I say that? Anyway, they did an analysis on the difference in the coverage on ABC. And it turns out that David Muir himself has given 100% positive coverage of Kamala Harris and 93% negative coverage of Donald Trump. So no, this isn't going to be partisan in any way, shape, or form. Please give me a break. Yeah. He apparently has been the most positive of all of them toward Harris. So MRC analysts reviewed all 100 campaign stories that aired on NBC's World News Tonight. There it is, right here. NBC's World News Tonight from the day Harris entered the race on July 21st all the way through September 6th, including weekends. And their analysis found 25 clearly positive statements about Harris from reporters, anchors, voters, or other nonpartisan sources, with 0 negative statements. Okay, that's 0 negative statements. So, anyway, he, that computes to 100% positive spin. So yeah, this is really going to, I mean, seriously, come on. This is going to be, and now some people on the social medias were asking, you know, if ABC was going to fact check. I, of course, in the spots that I could, responded back and said, ABC doesn't fact check. They propaganda confirm. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to see, yeah, we're going to see what happens, but yeah, this is, this is it. His last name, I'm being asked, his last name is Muir, M-U-I-R, although he is close enough to manure that, yeah. So anyway, you can see it on the screen. It's right up here. M-U-I-R right here. David Muir. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're going to have to see. I mean, obviously, let's be honest. There's no way that Donald Trump, no matter what outlet, even all the way up to like Fox News, there is no mainstream media outlet that would actually give Trump positive outlooks, which is part of the reason why a lot of people complained when he did that little speaker thing with Elon Musk on X. Because of the fact that they, you know, the left-wing media was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah. So we'll just have to see, like, this is going to do. We'll just have to see what's going to happen here. But the thing about it is, though, is I don't want to give Kamala Harris, I don't want to make her seem like she's got, you know, I don't want to lower the bar. Let's just say, okay. I don't want to lower the bar for Kamala Harris in the debate. And neither does the Trump team. Because the Trump team has said publicly, they're like, oh, we look forward to a spirited debate. You know. And I would tend to agree with that. Let's not give Kamala Harris much of the idea like we did with Biden with the whole low bar kind of idea. The thing about it is the whole idea of Kamala Harris, you know, Donald Trump is the known entity here. Okay. Donald Trump, we've already seen him in debates. We've already seen him in public appearances. We've already seen him in speakers, press conferences, all these kinds of things. We've already seen all of that. And so Donald Trump coming into this debate is a known quantity. We pretty much know, for the most part, well, you know, what Donald Trump is going to talk about, who Donald Trump is, etc., etc. The thing is, Kamala Harris has not done pressers. The one and only sycophantic recorded media interview with Donna Bash. Okay, I have to say it that way because if I don't, I'm going to call her Dana or Dana, and that's not right. It's Donna. So Donna Bash. The one thing is that the one time that the two of them were together, she had her, you know, obviously over anxious corgi in Tampon Tim next to her. So yeah, it's the onus is going to be on Kamala to be able to demonstrate that she can actually think on her feet, that she can actually remember and hopefully not just regurgitate information and fall off the planet like Joe Biden did with his cognitive challenges in the CNN debate. So the entire thing is going to rest on her shoulders to perform well enough to make it so that she essentially doesn't look like a complete dumbass. Now, Donald Trump, on the other hand, has to do one thing and one thing only. And that means that he has to make sure that he corners her into the position where she has nowhere to go. In other words, nowhere to where she can deny the fact that she has been in office for the last 3.5 years. That's the whole crux of this issue. Because let's be honest, what this really boils down to is sort of like what happened in 2020, which was, do you want the same things that have been going on under Donald Trump, and do you want something brand new and fresh and exciting? And this is kind of where her whole campaign, where it's been, oh, feel the joy, feel the love, feel the excitement, without a whole hell of a lot of policy to follow along with it. Now, she has released on her website a series of what the left is calling policies, but we'll be honest here, it's mostly, these are what I'd like to do, and most of them, I'll be honest, is just, you know, pie in the sky dreams that she's not going to be able to necessarily get done unless, of course, she is able to rope in the Congress on it. But again, Donald Trump has to remain calm, just like he did in Joe Biden's debate. He has to remain clear and concise and on topic. He cannot in any way, shape, or form lose his temper. He cannot devolve into a set and series of personal attacks. He needs to stay on the issues, and he needs to focus on her and the fact that she is continuing through her policies the entire Biden administration, especially on topics such as the economy, immigration, and this and the inflation. Well, the economy is kind of on it, but the whole jobs numbers thing being rounded down, things of that nature. He really needs to focus on her and make sure that he, as a overall point, is able to keep her tied to the Biden administration and the Biden administration's policies. He cannot let her wiggle out and make it so that she feels like, or is able to convey to the voters that, no, you vote for me, it's going to be something brand new. We're all about the joy. We're all about the feels. This is this is what it's going to be like. We're going to make you feel good. No, he can't allow that. He has to tie her to policy and demonstrate through his questions and points that she is and has been vice president for the last 3.5 years and is planning on continuing those policies moving forward, which are very unpopular. And that's the whole point. Now, if he can get her swirling the drain like, a toilet being flushed with her word salads and all this other stuff and her circular talk, all the better, because intelligent people, and especially those independents who are going to be watching this, they haven't heard about what she actually believes in. They haven't heard that much about Kamala Harris. Even now, they really haven't. Polls and questions are showing that this is essentially going to be one of her singular best moments to be able to demonstrate and talk to the people, because realistically, she's been cloistered and hidden for so long. And again, that CNN interview didn't really have a heck of a lot of policy making or anything else. There was a lot of body language, but unless you're really well versed in body language, you're really not going to pick up on the fact that she was very uncomfortable and that she lied a lot, that she wasn't confident in her answers and things of that nature. And so it's going to be interesting, at the least, to see where this goes and how this pans out. Now, one thing that she is going to try to do is she's going to try to distance herself, not only from the Biden administration's policies, but also from her own policy talking points that she brought to the table in 2019 and 2020. When she was doing the running for president the first time, where she literally got 0 votes because she dropped out before the first primary even happened. But when you have friends like this next person I'm going to bring up, and not enemies, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure that anybody is going to be really all that impressed with this. I got that here in just a moment. But first, let me tell you about this fantastic company, patriotic shirt and all other apparel company known as theflagshirt.com. It's run by a veteran, and it's owned by a veteran, I should say, and run by his son. And they have got some fantastic shirts. You see me wearing them. I'm actually wearing their Don't Tread on Me shirt right now. Here, you can see. There's the snake. And here, if I turn around, see if I can get it. It's even bigger on the back, and it says, Don't Tread on Me down at the bottom. And you can pick this one up at theflagshirt.com. They have got a shop. They've got a fantastic looking logoed shirt for 9/11 that they are pushing, of course, in remembrance of what happened during 9/11 and the taking of the towers, the Pentagon, and of course the patriots that brought down the plane in Pennsylvania. They have a free shipping offer that is always on for orders of $75 or more. But if you don't want to get $75 worth of gear, I am going to help you out by giving you a coupon code for $5 off your order. To get that coupon code, you head to flagshirt.americanperspective.online. That's flagshirt.americanperspective.online. And you can get yourself a $5 off coupon code that you can enter into the promo code box at checkout at theflagshirt.com. Go to flagshirt.americanperspective.online to get your coupon code for $5 off your order over at theflagshirt.com. Go and check them out today. They also have elections gear. They have a section on elections gear to get you all ready and dolled up for this 2024 election. You can go and check them out. They've got men's, women's, kids, accessories. All of it is spangly in the beautiful red, white, and blue. They also have shirts that are specific for veterans. They have like Army specific, Marine specific, Navy, so on and so forth. Go and check them all out. Check it all out at theflagshirt.com and get yourself patriotized. All right. So when you have a friend like Bernie Sanders. And I'm laughing because I'm going to tell you, this guy, when you have friends, who needs enemies? Okay. Here it is. Look at this picture. Oh my gosh. This is such a perfect picture of Bernie. Have you ever seen a picture of Bernie like this? I mean, Bernie looks like he's like totally lost. The whole, Einstein hair everywhere. Yeah. Bernie. He's just nuts. Well, anyway, according to this in Red State, Bernie Sanders tells us what we already know, that Kamala is faking her attack toward the middle. Now, remember how I've told you this. Kamala Harris is attempting to distance herself from the Biden-Harris administration's policies. Let's face it, it's for the last year and a half, it's probably been the Harris-Biden administration. But the thing about it is that he went and said the quiet part out loud, which is essentially that, no, Kamala Harris is not necessarily attacking differently. Here, take a look.
Described Vice President Kamala Harris as a progressive. She has previously supported Medicare for all. Now she does not. She's previously supported a ban on fracking. Now she does not. These, Senator, are ideas that you have campaigned on. Do you think that she is abandoning her progressive ideals?
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election. My own view is slightly different. I think that in America today, there are a lot of people, rural people, working class people, who no longer believe that the United States Congress and government represents their interests, too dominated by big money interests. So I think that there is something wrong personally when we are the only.
Okay, so it kind of cut off there toward the end, thankfully, because he was getting off topic. But the question basically was, she was for things and now she's not. And believe me, you can see an entire list of things that she was for if you bother to know where to look. Okay. And the reality of it is she keeps on saying, no, my values haven't changed. I haven't changed at all. Like, for an example, she wanted to ban fracking in 2019. She now says, no, I'm not going to ban fracking. Well, hello, she's been pandering for votes. Have you ever listened to her speak in, say, Georgia or Detroit in comparison to places like Pennsylvania? She takes on a Southern affect or a different kind of affect, not necessarily a accent, but an affect, where she wants to try and fit in with whatever crowd that she is speaking to rather than just speaking to them. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things that I just don't understand. This guy, he says it right here. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and do what she thinks is right in order to win the election. Boy, if that doesn't sum every single thing up, that she's doing, it basically just says, yeah, she's just doing whatever she has to do in order to make it win, in order to win. She doesn't care. Yeah. Yeah, it's, it's just, gotta love Bernie. Every once in a while, he comes up with a gem, and I'll tell you, that was definitely a gem. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Kamala Harris, just think of that fish that you've just pulled out of the water and it's flopping around in the boat. Well, maybe you've never gone fishing before. I don't know. But anyway, the point being is that she just flip-flops on everything. She will tell you whatever it is that she thinks that you want to hear in order to gain your vote. That's it. That's all she does. And so anyway, there we go. Bernie. Sorry, I got to look at this picture again. There's the Burns, the Bernie Bros. Oh, oh, all right. Enough about Bernie. Okay, to catch a couple people up that came in late, I am going to try to stream the debate. The debate is supposed to start right after this show, so I am planning on doing like I did before. However, programming note for everyone, and the timing couldn't be worse, but programming note for everyone, as you know, I have another 9 to 5 that I do outside of this program. That 9 to 5 requires me to go on what is called on call every 6 weeks or so. This week is my week. So starting tomorrow, I will be on call. So keep in mind that if there is an emergency that comes up and I get called in for work, I will, if I'm already streaming it, I'll just leave it and let you guys just listen to it or whatever. But yeah, so there you go. And that's coming up. That's coming up for the entire week. So I will be from Tuesday till Monday, till next Monday, on call. So there might be some interruptions if something does happen. The chances are pretty low, but you know, I still have to say it. So if I have to like end the stream quickly, you guys will understand why fully. Also too, programming note, I do not have a pet of the week. Please don't send me any photos of the Haitians doing their thing with the pets. Okay, that's not a pet. Gotta head that off because I know somebody would do that just for fun. But also too, I don't have a pet of the week, and I also don't have a question for the week. So that's basically what you can go. You can send those to fans at americanperspective.online. Okay, speaking of illegals and Haitians, well, you remember that one thing that I've been talking about, that a lot of the right has been talking about, that the Congress has been talking about? Okay? All of this stuff that has been talking about. The whole idea of non-citizens voting in our elections. And do you remember how the left has been saying, no, it's already illegal? Well, I mean, let's face it. It's already illegal to murder somebody, yet we still have horrific gun violence everywhere. Yeah, like that's really going to stop them. It's illegal. Sure. Well, guess what? Here in Town Hall, there it is. Illegal alien arrested for voting in U.S. elections. You just can't make this stuff up. It's like every single time they, they say, oh, no, that's not happening. And then, but it's great that it is. Yeah, it's already here. It's already here. So Biden's Department of Justice apparently arrested an illegal immigrant from Guatemala for impersonating Americans and voting in federal elections. Here it is. Right here, folks. Hey, lefties, pay attention. This happens. 42-year-old Angelica Maria Francisco was taken into custody after it was revealed that she had been illegally voting in both 2016 and 2020 presidential elections. She was charged with false claims of citizenship in connection with voting, false statements in application for a United States passport, use of a United States passport obtained by false statements, and aggravated identity theft. Now, Francisco has agreed to plead guilty to all charges, according to the court documents. The illegal alien who has been residing in Alabama stole the identity of an American citizen in 2011 and used it to obtain a passport and register to vote. The DOJ said she used the U.S. passport to travel to and from her home country of Guatemala in 2012, 2015, and 2018. Yeah. This comes as Republicans warn of non-citizens on state voter rolls as the 2024 election gets closer. Despite Democrats dismissing such claims, there have been multiple findings. Multiple findings of people who are doing it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm done. You guys are morons. Not you, not my Whiskey Warrior P1s. I'm not talking about you guys, but any of the leftist lunatic morons that are out there who say, "Yep, none of this is happening, but it's good that it is." Yeah, you guys are all like, I need to get just. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine somebody being that completely out of it and stupid. It just, stupid, moron. I mean, let's just, use them interchangeably. It doesn't really matter anyway, because most of them don't bother looking things up. In fact, I even got into it, just as a side personal note, I even got into it with somebody on X over the weekend. And actually, I ended up having 5 of these morons block me because they just can't handle the truth. I posted all 5. Well, no, 4. Sorry. I digress. I was hoping for 5, but I ended up with 4. There was 4 of them that blocked me on X because they can't handle the truth. And one of the things that we were discussing at one point was talking about how Kamala Harris got her start thanks to Willie Brown. Willie Brown, the guy that she was stooping. Well, he or her, whatever, because, I mean, let's face it, this is an account. The account on X that was talking to me about it was like, "Oh, I haven't found a single thing about it." Well, there's this little thing known as the Wayback Machine on the internet. And it goes and it crawls the internet and it grabs snapshots of just about every single site there is available. In fact, I've used the Wayback Machine to grab snapshots of Walz's original congressional campaign website that basically stated that he knew that he was going in March, that he was going to Iraq in March when he was still in the military, in the National Guard. But anyway, so I ended up going into the Wayback Machine and I pulled down an article from the San Francisco Chronicle written by Willie Brown. And in the second paragraph, he said, and I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not quoting, I'm paraphrasing. But he states, "Well, I may have actually gotten her started in politics because I did appoint her to her first 2 positions in politics." Oh my gosh. I can't. These people have no research skills and abilities whatsoever. None whatsoever. So anyway. All right. Let's get on to, since we were talking about illegal aliens just before I digressed on a tangent there with Willie Brown. Willie's Willie was very fascinating to Kamala Harris at one point. But here's the thing is that, let's scoot back to what's happening in Ohio. Now, I want to be completely clear. Okay. There is a video that is running around on the interwebs that I'll admit I took it as it came from Springfield, and I'd have to watch the video again in order to fully see if there's any identification on the video itself that identifies what police units are responding. But I have it under what I'm going to consider pretty decent authority that the one that everybody is talking about where the woman ate the neighbor's cat is actually in the city of Canton, Ohio, not in Springfield proper. But I could be wrong on that. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. But here, this is what's happening in Ohio. This from Zero Hedge, which if you're not following Zero Hedge on X and you have an X account, you really, really, really need to check out Zero Hedge. I think it's a her, but anyway, they do, or no, maybe it's a guy. I don't know. But anyway, Zero Hedge does come out with some seriously good stuff, as well. Now here, what is happening here, and you can see in the photo that this guy, who is reportedly a Haitian individual, is carrying a goose that he had apparently killed. He's walking down the sidewalk here, and he's apparently carrying a goose in this case. But here's kind of what's happening in Springfield. Now, Springfield has a population of roughly 60,000, okay, normally. And they have had roughly 1/3 of their population added to by the Biden administration, because the Biden administration grabbed, okay, 20,000 Haitian illegal aliens. And what's even worse is Mayorkas gave them special status, what's called TPS, or temporary permanent status, which essentially means that they cannot be deported now. Now, granted, it's not like the Biden administration wants to deport them anyway, but what has been happening here in Springfield, and it goes beyond, seriously, it goes beyond just the fact that neighbors are reporting that they've noticed that their dogs and cats have been missing, and things of that nature, challenges and problems with potential crime and things of other crimes and things of that nature, all the way down to an individual who lives in Springfield who called and called his insurance company to get an update on his insurance for the 2 cars that he had. And his insurance went up purely because of the fact that he lives in Springfield, Ohio. Because apparently a lot of these people are just driving without driver's licenses. Most of them don't even speak English. There was this one lady who was complaining. I saw a video that she was complaining about these Haitians that showed up on her front porch and started screaming at her in a foreign language, throwing mattresses and stuff into her yard. So this is beyond just essentially a, potential crime spree problem like the Venezuelan gangs that are invading Aurora, okay, which the left is denying, of course, even though the owner of those properties actually had to and is in the process of selling because of it. But the point here, though, is that this importation of these illegal aliens is causing a ruckus for the people here in America. So this was during a August 27th City Commission meeting where one local resident was talking about what's happening in the park with these people.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for like going left to center and like a couple miles over, like y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol know so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic.
Okay, so that clip continues on for a lot longer, but you can feel the energy and the frustration of these people. Now, there was another one who was discussing about how the neighbor had the cat go missing, and only to see it hanging from a branch like you do a deer for butchering, okay, and the Haitians were carving it up to eat. Now, keep in mind, again, that cat was in Canton, Ohio. But let's be honest here. When you bus in 20,000 people, all right, you end up with an expansion. And so when it starts in one place, and I can tell you that this happens all the time. When you start with the homeless problem, for an example, you have a homeless problem in a particular city, and it happens in the city. Well, sooner or later, there's going to be enough people there that they're going to want to spread out so that they don't have to compete for space or food or, for shelter, for food, whatever. And so what are they going to do? Is they're going to slide out and expand their base. We have people in my neighborhood, and I'm not exactly in the most, what would be considered urban area. Okay. I live in a semi-rural space, and there's homeless people here who are taking advantage of the space and being able to live on vacant space and vacant land surrounding the properties around here. But again, the whole idea of immigration, and this is really what I'm going to boil down to here, the whole idea of immigration and the idea of America in the melting pot was because of the fact that we were supposed to be taking what was essentially the best and brightest from other places and bringing them here so that they can make our country better. And the thing about it is that immigration only works when you have what is called assimilation as well. The challenge here is if you don't have assimilation, then you have what is essentially going to turn into small pockets of essentially other countries. I mean, just look at what's happening or what has happened in Dearborn, Michigan, for an example. They had a whole bunch of Somalis brought in, and now they have, at the last, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but I think I've been to Dearborn in the past, and there were actually cop cars that were labeled as the Islamic, what is it? Well, I think they're called courtesy police, or not courtesy police, but still, the point is that they were supposed to be enforcing Islamic law in that area and Islamic dress codes and things of that nature within, whatever kind of reason that was there. But again, the whole point of immigration is to include that with assimilation. The point of bringing those people here legally is to eventually have them become American citizens, become the productive members of society that we want them to be, potentially bring them here and do absolutely wonderful and great things that they can't do in their home country for whatever reason, whether it's, lack of resources, money, whatever it is. And the point here is that if you have immigration without assimilation, you have the downfall of the country. You have the destruction of the country. And this is exactly what they are meaning the Democrats, are looking for. They want to destroy the country. That's what they're looking for. That's what they want. And this is just horrible. That you have immigration without assimilation here. And that's what's happening in the case of a lot of these illegal aliens that are coming here. They didn't come here because they want to become a U.S. citizen and be a part of this country. What they are doing is they are coming here to take advantage of the opportunities that we have, but they have no desire to join or become a part of our culture, or to bring the best and brightest of their culture and bring it in here and turn it into a melting pot, which is where we were supposed to be going. Now, I got to tell you this little story. This is my wife's family came here. Of course, my family came here too, but I don't have this kind of story in terms of my lineage. But when her great-grandfather came here from Italy, okay, when he got here and landed at Ellis Island and was accepted as an American, the story goes that he immediately stopped speaking Italian. That he basically told everybody, I am in America now. I will speak English. When he became American, I am an American now. I am no longer an Italian. And even though he kept for an example, his winemaking and kept the recipes, which I wish we got, but some of the recipes from the old world, the point is that he recognized that his purpose for coming here was to become American. And so he embraced his country. He embraced the values that we had here. He embraced our culture insofar as to not identify and connect with his former Italian country. That's the type of immigrant that we want to come here. We want the ones that are wanting to be here. We want the ones that want to be a part of our culture, but bring the best of their culture as well to weave it into the American experience. We're not looking for people who are just coming here to get a handout and to get subsidies. We don't want those types of people. We want the people that are going to make America better. All right. That's it for me for tonight, folks. Do me a favor, if you would, please, if you haven't already, head on over to rumble.com, get yourself an account. And once you do, make sure you search up the American Perspective channel and also hit that green follow button so that you can be alerted. Well, first of all, so I can grow the channel. That would be absolutely awesome. But also so that you can be alerted every time that I go live. We will see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget, I'm going to try to grab the feed for the debate to simulcast it here after my show because it starts at 9 p.m. And we'll do that, as long as I can. Also, too, don't forget, on your way out, hit your thumbs up buttons, your like buttons, whatever they are, across all of the different platforms, because that helps to get the exposure of my videos up a lot higher. So I appreciate all of that. We'll see you tomorrow for the great debate. Have a great rest of your night, and good night, everybody.
The previous broadcast was produced and is owned by Active Eye Media LLC. All rights reserved.